Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. I am Sir Carl Patrick Sahagan Tadeo from Olongapo City National High School, or you can call me Tutor Carl. So I will be the substitute for HUMSS Senior High School Introduction to World Religions and Belief Systems. So ngayon ay nasa week 6 na tayo of quarter 4, wherein we will be dealing with Shintoism. Okay? So supposedly, this will be the time slot of Tutor Anna every Thursdays from 5:20 to 6 p.m., which is Introduction to World Religion and Belief System. But unfortunately, because of some errands, I will be the one who will be handling this for week number 6. Okay, so for this week, at the end of the session, you will be able to examine the brief history, core teachings, fundamental beliefs, practices, and related issues of Shintoism. So later on, we will be identifying the history of Shintoism and in what country did this religion originate. Okay. So before we start our lesson for this afternoon, let's have a review. Okay. So this is a true or false. So isulat lamang ninyo kung if it is a true or if it is false. Okay? So on the comment box below, write true if the statement is correct and false if not. So are you ready? Okay, are you ready guys? So you can actually comment, no? Pwede kayo mag-comment ng para sa ganon ay mabati kayo habang tayo ay nagkakaroon ng ating online Itulay tutorials. Okay? So let's go on the first number. So number 1, Lao Tzu is the founder of Taoism. Okay? Is it a true or false? Okay, let's see. Let's see if it is a true or false. Is it a true or false? So it is, yes, it is true. So Lao Tzu is the founder of Taoism, which is one of the major world religions that we have, okay, in the world. Next, number 2. Let's go to number 2. And let's read it. Lao Tzu believed in the harmony of all things and that people could live easily together if they only considered each other's feelings. So what do you think? Is it a true or false? You can comment on the comment box. No, pwede kayo mag-comment sa comment box kung ano sa tingin ninyo ang tamang sagot. True ba siya or false ba? Is it true or false? Okay, so let's see. It is okay, very good. It is true. So Lao Tzu believed in the harmony of all things and that people could live easily together if they only considered each other's feelings. So more likely Lao Tzu believed of mutual relationships. No, they should always take account each other's feelings so that there would be harmony in the community. Okay, let's go to number 3. Lao Ching is a book of poetry presenting the simple way of following the Tao and living life at peace with oneself, others, and the world of changes. Okay, I will repeat. Lao Ching is a book of poetry representing the simple way of the following the Tao or Tao and living life at peace with oneself, others, and the world of changes. So what do you think is the correct answer? Is it a true or false? Okay? So, ayan, I would like to greet Sir Wax, Tutor Wax Benson is watching now. Good afternoon, Tutor Carl. Good afternoon din po, Tutor Wax. Okay? So, is it a true or false? Okay, let's see if it is true or false. False. Okay, so it's wrong. Then let's go to number 4. Hu Wei means doing everything or full action activities. Is it a true or false? Wu Wei means doing everything or full action activities. Is it a true or false? Okay, so you can actually comment down below your answers so that we will be having an active participation on our Itulay online tutorial for Introduction to World Religion and Belief System. Okay, so let's see, what's the answer? Is it true or false? It is a false. That's good, no? Now let's go to the next number. Number 5, Te is the foundation of all being and the way in which nature and the universe exist. Okay, I will repeat. Te is the foundation of all being in the way in which nature and the universe exist. Is it a true or false? Okay, so let's see what is the answer. It is again false. Okay, so I hope no before we start our lesson for today that you got all of the items right, because if you got all of the items right, it means that you really mastered the topics that we have last meeting together with tutor Anna last time. Okay, now let's go to our discussion for today. Shintoism first impression. So more likely when you say Shintoism, so you will have your first impressions. Saan ba to nagmula? Where does this religion originated? And later on, we will be identifying its brief history. Okay, so let's now go to Shintoism. So the brief history of Shintoism. Okay, Ma'am Eresa, Tutor Mary Eresa said that this Shintoism came from Japan. So titingnan natin, doon ba talaga nagmula ang Shintoism? Okay, let's now have the brief history of Shintoism. So unlike many other religions, Shintoism has no recognized founder. Actually, that is correct. Unlike Confucianism, we have Confucius. Okay, but Shintoism, there's no recognized founder. So walang nagsimula, no, or walang naka-found, no. There's no written evidence that there is really a founder of this religion, which is Shintoism. And more likely, this Shintoism, no, is actually part of ancient Japan. So it says here that the people of ancient Japan had long held animistic beliefs, worship divine ancestors, and communicated with the spirit world via shamans. So more likely, they believed in animism before. Okay, so that is the part of the history of Shintoism in Japan. It is also said here that in Shinto, gods, spirits, and supernatural forces and essences are known as kami. Okay, so naniniwala pala sila sa kami yung mga sa Shintoism. So sabi dito, in Shinto, gods, spirits, supernatural forces, and essences are known as kami. So ano ang tawag natin sa mga Shinto gods, spirits, and supernatural forces that na pinaniniwalaan ng mga ng Shintoism? It is kami. Okay? Next. So give 3 examples of Filipino practices that show belief in unseen spirits. Okay, do we have this kind of practices in Filipino beliefs? Okay, so sige nga, pwede kayo mag-comment, no? Do we have Filipino practices that shows belief in unseen spirits? Okay, so Ma'am Eresa said that Naruto spirit, okay? Ay, Naruto spirit, okay? So actually, that's one example, no? One contemporary example of this unseen spirits. Okay, so there are lots of different beliefs that we have in the Philippines, and more likely it can be analogized to the belief of Shintos of spirits, which is called as kami. Okay, so Shintoism have these sacred scriptures. So what are the sacred scriptures of Shintoism? They have the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki. Okay, the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki. So what are these scriptures of Shintoism? So the Kojiki, or also known as the Record of Ancient Things, was actually compiled in 712 CE by the court scholar Ono Yasumaro. When we say CE, Common Era ito. Okay? By the court scholar Ono Yasumaro. And sometimes Common Era is also called as Anno Domini or AD. By the court scholar Ono Yasumaro, who drew on earlier sources, mostly genealogies of powerful clans. So again, the one of the most important scriptures in the Shintoism religion is the Kojiki, which is known as the Record of Ancient Things. And who compiled this Kojiki? It is Ono Yasumaro in 712 BCE. Okay, CE. Then number 2, then the Nihon Shoki, or the Chronicle of Japan, and also known as the Nihonji. It is written by a committee of court scholars, came in 720 CE. So these 2 important scriptures are actually used in the Shinto religion. Okay, the Kojiki, which was compiled by Ono Yasumaro in 712 CE, and the Nihon Shoki, or the Chronicle of Japan, or Nihonji, which was written by court scholars in 720 CE. So we have to be familiar with these scriptures of the Shinto religion. Okay? Next, what are the various rituals, no, when Shinto religion worship, and what are the different observances? Okay, so let's try to know all of these things. So there are Shinto rites and passage. So what are these Shinto rites and passage? So number one is the Hatsumiya Mairi, or the first shrine visit. This is the first shrine visit for a baby. Okay, so that's the first one, the Hatsumi Yamairi, or the first shrine visit. We also have the Shichigo-san, or the 753. What is this Shichigo-san? It is a festival observed every 15th of November. And what are they doing on this festival? On this day, parents take their kids to a shrine. Okay, so that's the second Shinto rites and passage. So another rituals or rites that they do in Shintoism is the Adults' Day, or known as the Seijin Shiki. So what are they doing in this Seijin Shiki? It is actually observed every January 15 of course, every year by the Japanese who had their 20th birthday the previous year by visiting the shrine to express gratitude to the kami. 20 being the legal age of adulthood in Japan. So again, kami is the spirits, no? That these are the spirits, or ito yung pinapaniwalaan ng mga Shintoism, okay, the kami. So every January 15, ang ginagawa ng mga Japanese on their 20th birthday, okay, after the previous year na 20th birthday, they will visit the shrine, no? So that they would express the gratitude to the kami, or the spirits that they believe to, okay? So that's the Adults' Day, or the Seijin Shiki. Okay. Next, another Shinto rite or passage is the marriage or wedding rites. So for Shintoism, they have their own marriage and wedding rites. So it is said here that traditional Shinto weddings have been less popular in recent years. Maybe because Shintoism is actually practiced in ancient Japan. Okay. So that's why somehow at this point in time, it is not that prevalent in Japan. It is also stated here that only a handful of people still follow the Shinto style wedding. Okay, again, one reason, the reason why it is not very popular nowadays, because Shinto actually sprouted in the ancient years, and now because it's already 2021 and we're following conventional type of living, okay? So somehow there's liberalism, okay? An influx of various religions from outside of Japan, outside of East Asia. Then therefore, that might be a reason why these traditional Shinto weddings are less popular nowadays. But more likely, there are still marriage or wedding rites, but only few of Japan people exercise this type or style of wedding, okay? Next, we have another Shinto rite and passage. When it comes to death or funeral rites, okay? So it is said here that the perception or the view of Shintos when it comes to death, they view it as impure. Thus, cemeteries are not built near shrines. Okay? It is also said here that cremation is common and funerals generally follow that of a Buddhist funeral. So more likely there's similarity, no, when it comes to the funeral rites of the Shinto and of the Buddhist religion. Okay. Next, what are the various beliefs and doctrines of Shintoism? Okay. They have the concept of kami or God. I actually discussed this a while ago, right? That Shintoism, in Shintoism religion, they believe in kami or God. So they believe in spirits and they call it as kami. It is said here that at the heart of Shinto ideology is the concept of the kami, commonly defined as gods or deities. Okay, so they believe that there are spirits, no, and they praise these spirits, which are called as, again, kami or God. Next, the concept of kami or God. The Amaterasu, Omikami, or the sun goddess. So they also believe with Amaterasu, okay, or the sun goddess. Second, they also believe in kamikaze. it refers to the divine wind who drove away the Mongols from attacking Japan. So these are some of the beliefs of Shinto religion. The kamikaze, which refers to the divine wind who drove away the Mongols from attacking Japan. Okay? So if you will try to see, Japan is just an island, right, in East Asia, and Mongols is part of the Chinese, the large mass of Chinese at the east part of Asia as well. So they believe it refers to this, no, yung kamikaze. Next, the creation myths and rituals. We have here Izanami or the Earth Mother and Izanagi, the sky god, as mythical creators of Shintoism and Japan. So this is also part of the myth of the creation myth when it comes to the Shinto belief, okay, or the Shinto religion. So it's said here that Shinto beliefs and rituals are founded mainly upon creation, myths surrounding the birth and development of the sacred Japanese islands. So this is the creation story of Shinto religion. So just like in various religions, such as in Christianity, they actually have their own creation story. Also in Shinto religion, they believe that it is through Izanami, which is Earth Mother, and Izanagi. No, they believe that these are the mythical creators of Shintoism as a religion and of course of the Japanese island. Okay, so it started with them. And before we continue with our discussion, Doc RJC Calaguas is also watching us today. Hello, good afternoon, Doc RJ Calaguas. And of course, U13 is also watching with us today. So good afternoon. Please continue watching. Please share and mention your classmates if you have, so that there will be more students na maaabot of this online tutorial. Okay? So again, the creation myth focuses on Izanami and Izanagi as creators of Shinto and Japan. Next, there are also purification rituals, no, in the Shinto religion. So what are these what is these purification rituals that they have? They actually observe the misogi or ablutions, okay? What is this ablutions or misogi? It is the act of washing one's body part or a part of it, usually for religious purposes. So more likely, it can be analogized to the baptism, right, with water of the Christians, no? But in Shinto religion, more likely, Japanese observe the what's so-called as the misogi or ablutions. So again, what are they doing when it comes to ablution? So as you can see here in the picture, no, they are washing parts of the body parts or their body or parts of it because there's a religious purpose for it. Okay? So again, what do you call it? Misogi or ablutions. Okay? Next, we also have the subdivisions of Shintoism. Okay? So just like Christianity, that there are various denominations, like in the Philippines, there are also subdivisions of Shinto religion. We have here the Jinja Shinto. Okay? We have the Jinja Shinto, Kyoha Shinto, and Minzoko Shinto. So what are the difference between these Shinto religions, okay, or Shinto subdivisions? When we say Jinja Shinto, this is actually the most traditional of all the subdivisions. And then we have the Kyoha Shinto, which started in the 19th century with 13 government-recognized sects. Imagine that there are lots of sects that time. It means that there are already division of that particular subdivision of Shinto religion. We also have the Minzoko Shinto, which is practiced by ordinary Japanese in their own localities. Okay, so do not forget about that when we say Jinja Shinto. It is the traditional form, or it is the most traditional among the subdivisions. And then we have the Kyoha Shinto, which started in about 19th century with 13 government-recognized sects. So more likely, these are the already not so conventional, no, but partly modernized type of the Jinja Shinto, which is the most traditional type. And we also have the Minzoko Shinto, which is practiced by ordinary Japanese in their own localities. Okay, so these are the subdivisions of the Shinto religion. Next, we also have various selected issues when it comes to Shinto religion or Shintoism. Okay, what are these? The first is the vehicles of patriotism, and we also have the shrine visits of prime minister. So as you can see here, these are some of the prevalent issues, no, the Japanese kindergarten students, because they serve as vehicles of patriotism. At a young age, they are already cultured, no, on how to love their country, and they also have the shrine visits of prime ministers. There's a picture here of the Yasukuni Shrine in Japan. Okay, so prime minister as a symbol of the government of Japan, and of course, it also explains the spiritual concept that they also have this aspect of Shintoism, even though it's already in the modernized political and religious regime. Okay, next. There's a question now. Is patriotism a good thing or not? Why? So I would like to explain this before we answer this question. Let us first try to differentiate nationalism and patriotism. Okay? When we say patriotism, it is actually love of country. But you love your country and you are doing the best for your country. Okay? But when we say nationalism, it is somehow very subjective, because yes, you love your country, but more likely you are trying all things just to be superior than other countries. So if you are nationalistic, you're a nationalistic person, you see other countries, no, as inferior to yours. Okay? So that's the difference between nationalism and patriotism. They both show love of country, but when we say patriotism, it focuses on the love of country, and of course, it also focuses that you do all things to better your country, but more likely it should be objective. You should do the right thing. Unfortunately, when we say nationalism, there's a big difference when it comes to how are you going to show the love to your country. Okay? That's the reason why if we will be going back to the history of the Philippine nation, that the nationalistic ideals sprouted on the love of country and trying to fight for the freedom of our nation. So there's a question now here. Is patriotism a good thing or not? Why? So to answer that, patriotism is really a good thing. Okay? But more likely, we should do things positively. Okay? We should do the right things. Okay? Not just do things positively, but do the right thing. Okay? Because if we will be doing the right thing for our country and for other country, not just for our country, it should be also to other country, there will be harmony. Okay? Just like in various religions, there is no better religion actually. Okay? Hindi pwedeng sabihin mo na, kami yung best religion. We should respect each other's religion. That is what we call as multiculturalism. Okay? That we should respect each other's culture. And a certain culture should be, there's what we call as cultural relativism, right? Na nakadepende sa different culture yung pag-unawa sa certain culture. So going back to the question, is patriotism a good thing or not? Yes, it is. Okay? And then another question here. How can we show our patriotism even during this pandemic? This is actually a good question. How are you going to show it even though it's pandemic? So more likely, part of patriotism is what do you call this? Buying, of course, the Philippine products, local products, and even supporting the local artists that we have in the Philippines. It is part of showing patriotism even though there's a pandemic. Okay? So if we try to focus on and we try to emulate other countries, no, foreign nationalities, foreign artists, foreign products, then therefore there's no patriotism at all. So how can we show this patriotism? We should, of course, love not just our language, we should also love our products and try to support these local products and local artists. Sir, why do we have to support these local products and artists? Because this can be a way for a national development. Just like other countries such as Japan, which is what we are discussing now, the Shinto religion, and even Japan as a country, they really focus, they are really patriotic. Okay, they use their language and actually most of their subjects. That's why they are one of the most developed countries in Asia. Okay, so I believe I have shared something to you when it comes to this topic. Okay, and then let's now have an assessment through a pop quiz. So again, you will just answer if true or false. So on the comment box below, you just have to write if the statement is correct and false if not. Okay, so I think you're already ready. Already ready. Okay, so let's go to number one. Oh, are you ready? Of course, I'm already ready. Okay, let's go to number one. You can actually answer using the comment box below. Number one, Shintoism has two main sacred texts, Kujiki and Nihon Shoki. Is it true or false? Okay, three, two, one. Is it a true or false? So let's see. You can actually answer using the chat box below. Okay, the correct answer is true. We just discussed it a while ago, right? The Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki, or the Nihon Shoki, created in 712 and 720 CE. Okay, let's go to number two. Amaterasu is known as the Earth Mother. Is it a true or false? Three, two, one. Okay, let's see. What's your answer? The correct answer is it's false, because Amaterasu is the sun goddess. Okay, so I think you also got this right. Next, number three. Shinto is a ritual for purification of the body. Is it Shinto? Let's see. It's false. Okay, it's not Shinto, because Shinto is the religion. Next, number four. Death is viewed as impure, thus cemeteries are not built near shrines. Death is viewed as impure, thus cemeteries are not built near shrines. We also discussed this a while ago, right? So, impure ba ang death or ang kamatayan? Do Shintos believe that this is really impure? Yung kamatayan ay impure. Do they believe on that? Is it a true or false? Let's see. What's the answer? Yes, it is true. So, the Shinto religion believes that death is impure, so cemeteries are not built near shrines. And if you will try to have another recall, it can be analogized similar to the Buddhist religion, right? Number five, at the heart of Shinto ideology is the concept of the kami. At the heart of Shinto ideology is the concept of the kami. Is it true or false? Three, two, one. Is it a true or false? Let's go back to the item. At the heart of Shinto ideology is the concept of the kami. Is it true or false? Let's see. Okay, very good. The correct answer is true. So kami, or the spirits, or spirits, they believe, Shintos believe that their god are called as kami. Okay, so these are the spirits and gods of those who believe in the Shinto religion. Okay, very good. So I think you really did a good job for this evening. Okay, so these are just some of the references that was used to for the topics that was discussed. Jose MD 2016, Understanding the Nature of Religion, Introduction to World Religion and Belief Systems, published by Vibal Group Incorporated, Quezon City, and Cabral V 2018, Different Worldviews, Different Religions, Pathways of Devotion, and Introduction to World Religion, published by Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Okay, so thank you so much, and I hope you've learned a lot for this afternoon. So for comments, suggestions, email us at edtech@deped.gov.ph. So next will be AUS for